Oh, no, this is not the Twilight Zone. This is Dearborn, Missouri, where 3-2 North Platte hosts undefeated Mid-Buchanan here tonight on the Dragon Sports Network. Good evening and welcome to Mid-Buchanan football. I'm Nick McCutcheon along with James Taylor. We welcome you to week 6 of the 2022 season. Whether you want to consider the recent past or not, I don't think many folks, if any, would have predicted prior to the season that this matchup would be the game of the week in the KCI, but it is tonight. The recent regular season domination of the KCI Conference by Mid-Buck has been well documented. But the story of the night here tonight is this North Platte team that has a winning record for the first time in over 7 years when they kicked off the 2015 season 2-0 before finishing 5-7. After going winless in each of the last 2 seasons, these Panthers got the proverbial monkey off their backs in Week 2 at Maysville. After a Week 3 loss in Gower, North Platte comes into tonight's game on a 2-game win streak with a thrilling double overtime win against Hamilton 2 weeks ago and a convincing victory last week at Plattsburgh. It's been a long time since Panther fans have been this excited about their football team. First-year head coach Jared Quigley has his work cut out for him tonight. We'll step away for a little bit and be right back with more pregame on the Dragon Sports Network. Well, welcome back to North Platte High School and Mid-Buchanan football on the Dragon Sports Network. Perhaps the most challenging test to this point of the season awaits the Dragons tonight. They've been up to the task so far behind a suffocating defense and an efficient, methodical run game. Mid-Buck is 5-0 for the third straight season. Mid-Buck's starting defense has not allowed a point in KCI play, or their starting defense, has not allowed a point in KCI play, a streak of more than 11 quarters of play, shutting out its opponents. And they are allowing just over 8.5 points on the season. Again, just 7 points allowed total by Mid-Buchanan in the last 3 weeks, their first 3 weeks of conference play, and that one touchdown at Lathrop last week coming against the JV. So this defense has been outstanding so far through this young season. And along with that, they've just seemed to get more and more dominant by the week. Last week, they recorded double-digit tackles for loss along with a handful of sacks and added a defensive touchdown as well for a second consecutive week. And meanwhile, that run game continued its march, led by Xavier Rumble's 1,000 rushing yards. He hit 1,000 last week and stayed at 1,000, so he's exactly there right now. And Xavier has 16 rushing touchdowns on the season as well. The Dragons averaging over 300 rush yards per game through the first 5 games of this season. But if the Dragons want to win a third straight KCI Conference Championship and have a chance at getting out of the district, I think they're going to have to show opposing defenses that they can move the ball through the air as well. It's been a challenge so far. While the Dragons have racked up over 1,500 yards on the ground, they have just over 103 to be exact, through the air. Rumble has had 2 games this season without a completed pass, including last week at Lathrop, and the team's yet to score a touchdown on a pass play this season. While Coach Fritz and his staff have built a masterful ground game behind an experienced line and talented runners, Don't think these coaches are comfortable being this one-dimensional, and don't be surprised if you don't see those passing numbers increase and maybe even a little bit here tonight. We're closing in on the anthem and the coin flip, so we will step away again for just a little bit and come back and preview the series and a little bit more about each of these two teams when we come back. You're watching Mid-Buchanan football on the Dragon Sports Network. But welcome back to Dearborn. Nick McCutcheon with James Taylor on the Dragon Sports Network. This series has been a little lopsided of late. Mid-Buchanan has won the last 4 and 6 of the last 7, almost all in dominant fashion, including a 62-6 beatdown last year in Fawcett. Mid-Buchanan head coach Aaron Fritz is 6-1 against the Panthers, just 1 win shy of his mark against West Platte, which is the best against any opponent in Coach Fritz's tenure in the regular season. Dragons are 5-0 and lead both the KCI and Class 1 District 8 standings, ranked number 3 in the state overall. They haven't lost a regular season home game since 2019, a streak of 29 consecutive wins overall, 24 straight conference wins. As we told you in the open, North Platte is 3-2. Their wins have come against Maysville, Penny, and Plattsburgh. Penny and Plattsburgh coming in consecutive weeks with losses to Gallatin and East Buchanan. Those 3 wins are the most for the program since going 3-7 3 years ago. The Panthers are tied with Lawson for 3rd in the KCI conference standings, and they sit alone in 3rd of the Class 1 District 8 standings. So this one, again, as we talked about in the pregame, hard to imagine, but it has postseason implications on the line. Mid-Buchanan won the toss, and they have elected to receive. So we will get ready for kickoff here from Dearborn as Mid-Buchanan set to have the ball first, as they've had much of the year this year. Coach Fritz likes to get the ball first, likes to try to score first, get a big lead, and kind of make that other team a little bit more one-dimensional. As we know, most of the time these teams are going to have their first offensive series or 2 scripted, but still, when you're down 7-0, it kind of might change the coach's mind just a little bit and cast a little doubt in there. Other games around the KCI tonight, Lathrop is at Penny. I think the other big surprise of the conference so far, besides these 3-2 Panthers, is the Penny sits 0-5 on the season. West Platte 2-3 at East Buchanan 4-1, and those Penny Hornets will be in Fawcett as Mid-Buchanan returns home after 3 straight weeks on the road next week. Plattsburgh, the other 0-5 team in conference play, is at Lawson tonight. Lawson sits at 3-2 on the season. Set to kick things off in this game is Dylan Armstrong back deep for Mid-Buchanan as Jackson Savage. Let's do it to it on the Dragon Sports Network. Clancy Woodward will catch this one over his shoulder, has a seam. Here goes Clancy Woodward up through midfield, splits 2 defenders. Here goes Clancy Woodward past the North Platte defense, and Clancy Woodward will take the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. Mid-Buchanan's first special team score of the season comes on the opening kickoff at homecoming here at North Platte. For Clancy, that was his first kickoff return of the season. Jackson Savage led the team with 6. Ian Waginka had 1, and Porter Pearson had 1 as well. Clancy Woodward's first kick return of the 2022 season goes for about 85 yards and a score, and Mid-Buchanan has a 6-0 lead here with just 4 seconds off of the clock in this game as Aiden Hallquist comes on to attempt the extra point. Aiden on the season has missed just 1. And he misses this one. I think it hit the upright. It's really hard for us to see right now with the sun. I'm looking through 2 panes of kind of dirty glass and the sun bearing right down on us. But either way, Aiden misses that extra point, just his second miss of the season. And with 11:46 to go in the first quarter, Mid-Buchanan leads North Platte 6-0 on Clancy Woodward's kickoff return for a touchdown. That's, Jimmy, how you get off to a good start. I think key for this, you cannot overstate how important that is. This North Platte team, I'm sure, has been amped up about this game. It's homecoming. They're off to a great start, as we documented a lot in pregame, and for Clancy to return that kickoff right off the bat, is if you watch their wins, North Platte's wins, they've gotten off to big starts. They've ran trick plays on their first play from scrimmage each of the last 2 weeks, and that's kind of how they've been able to jump on their opponents a little bit and get off to a good start and have a lot of confidence early on. But Woodward with the dagger. Jackson Savage will kick this one off and sends it down to the 5-yard line, and taking it is Jason Shanks right there, and Shanks will be wrestled down by a host of Dragons just inside the 20-yard line, where North Platte will begin its first drive of the game. .11:42 to go here in the first. Mid-Buchanan already up 6-0. North Platte will start with the ball at their own 19-yard line. We will see Colton Kirkham at quarterback, and in the backfield with him. Again, it's really hard for me to see through this glass, but it looks like Dylan Armstrong and Liam Service, and now Service will go in motion, and keeping it is Kirkham, and he gets to the second and third level of the Mid-Buchanan defense. Doesn't get quite enough for a first down, but it will be second and short as Kirkham's able to pick up about 9 on first down. You're going to see that zone read a lot from this North Platte offense, and more times than not, Kirkham will keep it. At least that's what I've seen so far, and here's a false start that will back the Panthers up a little bit. North Platte team that, from what I've seen, is a little bit prone to penalties, especially pre-snap. So it'll be second and about 6 now for North Platte. They'll hand it off to Service here, who drives ahead and still churning. Whistle finally blows as Service gets it up to about the 27, maybe 28-yard line. So a modest gain that will bring up third down for North Platte here on their first drive of the game, as Service does get that one to the 28. It's a 5-yard gain on second down. It'll be third and about a yard. Kirkham going to pitch it on the option here to Service, and he is met immediately, and I'm not sure he got the first down. He's right at the sticks, but a great open field tackle on the perimeter there, as Service had a lot of green grass in front of him, but he is able to pick up the first down right at the 29. What I've seen of this North Platte team, not as dangerous on the ground as they are through the air, but that has not stopped them from continuing to try to run the football. Down 6-0 here. They'll give it to Service again. He has a hole over the left side and gets it up to about the 34-yard line, a gain of about 5 on first down. A good push up front so far from this North Platte offensive line that does have some size. I just feel like a broken record every week, though, talking about the size of the other team compared to these Dragons. We know they're not the biggest team, but it has not mattered, as they, again, are the only undefeated team in the conference, the only undefeated team in the district. Second and about 5 to go for North Platte here from their 34-yard line. Kirkham is going to option play again, and he's got nowhere to go. Decided not to pitch the football, and he is taken down in the backfield at the 31 for a loss of 3. Jackson Walgren in on the stop. Actually, they're going to spot him at the 32, so it's a loss of just 2, but makes it a third and reasonably long here for the Panthers, as it'll be 3rd and 7. Converted a 3rd and 1 already on this drive. What do they have drawn up for 3rd and 7? Do they put the ball in the air for the first time in this football game? Kirkham will look to throw it and has a man open, and he will have the first down as breaking in through into the Mid-Buchanan secondary and getting taken down at about midfield is Caden Mullendor. Mullendor will be taken down at, call it the 49-yard line. A gain of 17 for North Platte on 3rd and 7. Nice play design there with Mullendor getting into the middle of that Mid-Buchanan defense. And had some room to run, so the Panthers are finding some holes here against this Mid-Buchanan D. They will hand it off to Service here and making probably a touchdown saving tackle, but still able to get into Mid-Buchanan territory at the plus 40. It's a gain of 11 on first down for North Platte. They want to hurry up. Going to throw it out wide, and it will be incomplete. That was just barely a forward pass. Mid-Buchanan wisely jumps on it, but it is ruled an incomplete pass. 2nd down coming. 2 passes attempted in this drive and in the game by North Platte so far. Completed one, and that one incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Panthers from the 40. Kirkham had 2 receivers to his right. One goes in motion, and now Kirkham will throw it back to Mullendor, and Mullendor will be wrapped up and taken down for a short gain up to, I think they're going to give him, they're not going to give him the 43. They'll just give him the 42. A 2-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 8 for North Platte here. They converted a 3rd and 7 already on this drive as Mid-Buchanan makes some changes in their defensive personnel here and an obvious passing down. Send Brendan Matt in motion. He's split wide right, 2 receivers to the left, 2 backs in the backfield with Kirkham, who rolls to his left, looking to throw, under pressure, and he will be flung down and sacked. Zach Kelly gets Kirkham down back towards midfield. They will say the 47-yard line. It's a loss of 5 on 3rd and long. I keep guessing wrong on the spot. It will be the 46, and so Kirkham now will drop back into punt formation. And Jackson Savage will drop back deep to receive. Jackson on the season, just 3 official punt returns. He's been back there for a whole lot of them, but he's only had 3 register at returns for a total of 49 yards. Dragons already have 1 special team score in this game, and Jackson will just let that one get down at about, what is that, Jimmy? About the 11-yard line, and that's where Mid-Buchanan will begin its first drive of the game. The 6-0 lead. They're able to force North Platte into a punt. 6:12 to go here in the first quarter. And still, I can't quite tell. I think they're going to say the ball's on the 12. What have we got going on here? Coach Fritz having a chat with our white hat there. Not sure if something was missed or not, but talking things over, and now the white hat out there talking to Xavier Arumbala. Interesting. Love to be down there and know what's going on, Jimmy. But either way, Mid-Buchanan begins its first drive of the game with a 6-0 lead already. They'll hand it over to the man that gave them that 6-0 lead, Clancy Woodward, who will have it up to the 20-yard line. And 9-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 1. Arumbala will keep this one, looking for room, gets through a tackle and dives ahead and has enough for the first down. The spot now is 24-yard line, a gain of 4 for Xavier Arumbala there, so 1,004 yards on the season now for Xavier. We talked about them maybe wanting to throw the ball in this game, but so far, same formations and just a bunch of handoffs. Clancy Woodward here is stopped for no gain, maybe a loss of a yard. It is a loss of 1. The 2nd and 11 here for Mid-Buchanan. Now they will send 3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Just 1 back in the backfield with Xavier Arumbala. And he'll send Clancy Woodward out in motion, who is gimping around a little bit. And this pass is picked off. Arumbala's pass was picked off, as reading it well was Dylan Armstrong, and he takes it back for a score, and this game is tied with 4:56 to go in the first. Dylan Armstrong read that perfectly, read Arumbala's eyes, and jumped the route, picked it off, and took it back to the house. A defensive touchdown for North Platte, a special teams touchdown for Mid-Buchanan, and we are tied as Armstrong, who just had the pick 6, now will come on and attempt the extra point. Have not seen many extra points attempted by this North Platte team, and Armstrong's kick is up, and it is good. North Platte takes the lead with 4:56 to go in the first. We'll be right back on the Dragon Sports Network. Well, Dylan Armstrong gives North Platte the lead here with an interception return for a touchdown. This kick will be fielded by Zach Kelly. Zach Kelly gets around one man, gets through another, and will be stood up and taken out of bounds at around the Mid-Buchanan 40-yard line. For Xavier Arumbala, that his 2nd interception of the season on 29 pass attempts. Or excuse me, make that 30 pass attempts. They spot the ball at the Mid-Buchanan 38-yard line. They'll pitch it out to Zach Kelly. Zach Kelly's got a lot of room around the right. Gets a block from Xander Brown, gets through a tackle, and will be forced out of bounds at about the North Platte 40-yard line, as that play is able to flip the field position pretty quickly for the Dragons. The pace of this game has me scrambling, Jimmy. We've got a penalty on North Platte here. Kelly was able to gain 20 yards on that last play. Ball spotted at the 37 now. It is 1st and about 5 for Mid-Buchanan. They hand it off to Woodward, who has a first down, trying to get through some tackles, but cannot, but still will be inside the 30 and has another Mid-Buchanan first down. Spotted at the 29. Dragons moving the ball well on this drive. Great push from the North Platte defense there. Xavier Rumble, I believe, is able to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think they even managed to gain a yard there. Yeah, picked up a yard to the 28. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Mid-Buchanan. This is kind of where this Dragon offense has sputtered a little bit, is when they get into the other team's territory. No backs in the backfield here, but it will be a quarterback draw. There goes Xavier Rumble into the open field. Mid-Buchanan's back on top. A 28-yard touchdown run by Xavier Rumble puts the Dragons back on top, 12-7. We'll see if they try to chase the points after Hallquist missed an extra point, and they will go for 2 here. No backs in the backfield again. Rumble all by himself. Will it be a draw again? No, he will fling it out to Zach Kelly, but this play is blown dead as there was a flag on this near sideline thrown. And it is encroachment against North Platte, so the Dragons will have another chance at it from a little bit closer, half the distance to the goal. And it'll be Savage in the backfield with a Rumble as he takes it in and converts the 2-point conversion. 3:18 to go in the first quarter. Mid-Buchanan leads at North Platte 14-7 on the Dragon Sports Network. Well, a good one so far here in Dearborn as this kickoff will get into the end zone for a touchback by Jackson Savage. Mid-Buchanan jumped on top. A kickoff return for a touchdown by Clancy Woodward. Then North Platte answered with an interception return for a touchdown by Dylan Armstrong. Made the extra point to go up 7-6. Xavier Rumble had just put the Dragons back on top with a 28-yard touchdown run. We apologize to those of you watching at home. We've just got notification that for some reason our video's frozen. As soon as we get a stoppage in play here, we'll get that fixed for you. North Platte's second drive of the game begins at their own 20-yard line. 3:17 to go. A handoff here will go nowhere. Service taken down in the backfield by Ben Pugh. It's a loss of 1, and for Ben Pugh, that is his 14th tackle for loss this season. Again, last week, this Dragon defense put up double-digit tackles for loss, the second time in 3 weeks that they have accomplished that. Here's a run, and into the open field goes Service. Only Savage can catch him, And a great job by Jackson Savage to take a good angle and go low and take Liam's service down. Otherwise, North Platte's got a chance to tie this football game or take the lead, but Service gets it all the way to the Mid-Buchanan 40-yard line. It's a gain of 41 on second down. This North Platte running game is finding holes against this Dragon defense, more so than we've seen any team do so far this season. This time Kirkham will keep it on the read, and he gets through some ankle tackles and has it down inside the 30-yard line. It'll be a first down for Colton Kirkham there. Gain of 11 on first down. Think about the third first down by this North Platte team with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. I'm not sure any opponent so far to this season has picked up 3 first downs in the first quarter against this Dragon defense. Give that Panther offensive line a lot of credit. They're pushing that defensive line back, making room. Here's Kirkham. No room for Kirkham there as he is stacked up and taken down at the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1 back to the 30. Zach Kelly, the first man there. Other Dragons in on the stop as well. It'll be second and about 11 from the North Platte 30-yard line. This Dragon defense can get a big stop here. North Platte probably in fourth down territory as it stands. They'll give it to Service here, and he fights for a head to about the 25-yard line. Drugged down by Jackson Walgren. It will be third down here. Brings up 3rd and 5 for North Platte. Probably more like 3rd and 6, and we have a timeout on the field. Timeout North Platte, their first of the half. So as they take that timeout, we are going to step aside for just a second, try to shut down our program and restart it, and that should get our video back live for you. We'll step away for just a second here on the Dragon Sports Network. Well, we apologize if you're hearing us. Some technical difficulties we're having here. For some reason, we can only get audio out and no video, but you can still hear us. 1st and 10, North Platte at the Mid-Buchanan 13-yard line here. Mid-Buck leading 14-7. Kirkham has one back in the backfield. That is Service. He will hand it off to him, and Service will charge ahead to about the 10-yard line, a gain of 2 on first down. For North Platte, it will be 2nd and 8. This one back in the backfield again. A tight end is kind of a wing. They will hand it off to Service. He hops over one tackle, is met by the entire Dragon defense just inside the 10-yard line. It'll bring up third down. Actually mark him down at the 10-yard line. They need to get to, it looks like, about the 4 for a first down. It's going to be third and probably about 6. That's what the scoreboard says. Can the Dragon defense get a stop here on third down? Be nice to get a tackle for loss. Make North Platte think about what they want to do on fourth. Kirkham looking to pass, throws it deep for the end zone, leaping up and making the catch for a touchdown is Caden Mullendore. What a catch. It was a jump ball thrown up by Kirkham into the end zone. It was going to be him or a Dragon that came down with it. And Mullendore, the 5'10" senior, comes down with it. And North Platte trails by just a point, will likely go for 2 here. No, they will try to attempt the extra point. It's a bad snap, and picking it up and being stopped just short of the goal line. Believe that was Armstrong. They went for one. I do not think it was a fake. They just went for one. And a bad snap. They had to pick it up and then try to take it in for 2. It didn't work out. 14-13, Mid-Buchanan leads North Platte with 10:44 to go in the second quarter. We're going to step away. You're watching Mid-Buchanan football on the Dragon Sports Network. A 10-yard touchdown pass from Colton Kirkham to Caden Mullendore has North Platte back on the scoreboard. And after all that talk in the pregame about how Mid-Buchanan has not been giving up many points, they give up 2 early on here. Jackson Savage fields the kickoff and will run out of bounds at about the Mid-Buchanan 30-yard line, and that's where the Dragons will begin their third drive of the game. $10:40 to go here in the half. An excellent drive from Mid-Buchanan their last time that ended with a 28-yard touchdown run by Xavier Arumbala. And North Platte jumps across the line, knocking down one of the Mid-Buchanan offensive linemen. It is an offside penalty on North Platte. March off 5 yards there and make this first down play much more manageable for the Dragons. As should be at the 32-yard line now. They are, so it'll be 1st and 5, same way they started their last drive. Rumbala claps his hands, takes the snap, drops back to pass, looking down the left sideline, leaping up and almost coming down with the catch. And then a little banged up after he almost made that catch was Ian Waginka. Waginka getting the start tonight at wide receiver. And we saw right there why the coaches wanted to take a chance on him, and a good ball by Xavier Arumbala. It was a tough catch for Ian, but Arumbala put it where only Ian could come down with it. No chance for that one to be intercepted. Either way, it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Dragons here. We thought we might see Mid-Buchanan go through the air a little bit more. They have. Arumbola will keep this on a QB draw and gets modest yardage across the 35 up to the 36-yard line, a gain of 4. On second down, it will bring up third. Third and pretty short. Dragons up on it quick. They want to try to catch the Panthers here. Arumbola takes a high snap, looking for room, is stopped at about the line of scrimmage. Stop for no gain. Give him maybe a yard. But it is extremely close here for Coach Fritz and his gang to think about. And they're going to go for it here on 4th and inches. Arumbola looks to the sideline along with Clancy Woodward. He has 2 receivers in the slot right, and now Aaron Fritz will call a timeout. And most likely, I think we'll see the Dragons punt here. A couple of offsides penalties already from North Platte. I think the coaches probably thought, hey, let's get up on this ball really quick and see if we can get the Panthers to jump off sides again and pick up a 4th down easily. And we are live again, we think. Get the score and everything up for you here real quick. No idea what's going on tonight. Our internet connection is good, but for some reason, our video keeps freezing up on us. So 4th and inches here. Mid-Buchanan initially looked like they were going to go for it on 4th down. And out of the timeout, they're still going to go for it, it would appear. Unless Arumbola drops back and Pooch punts this one. He has done that once this season so far. Xavier claps his hands, takes it, charges ahead, and Xavier Arumbola has the 1st down. A gutsy call works out for Mid-Buchanan. Xavier needed less than a yard. He gets 3 up to the 40-yard line, and Mid-Buchanan up on it quick once again. Xavier looking to pass here, wants to throw right, has Wagika wide open, but he slipped and fell down. I'm not sure that Ian was going to be able to catch that pass anyways. He was curling a little bit, angling back to the inside, and Xavier threw that football a little bit more outside, but still, Ian slips down on this turf here in Dearborn. And the Dragons are having a tough time getting the passing game going in this one. Arumbola charges ahead on the QB draw here, has it up near the 45, and then plows ahead across the 45 and to the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 by Xavier Arumbola on second down, makes it 3rd and about 4. 3rd and exactly 4. They need to get it to the 50 to get a 1st down here. It is the 2nd quarter. Try to get that fixed for you here while I've got a second. We work through these weird technical issues that we've had tonight. 3rd and 4 for Mid-Buchanan. Arumbola again gets stopped at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down. Another decision for Coach Fritz here. Arumbola goes nowhere on 3rd down, and most likely a punting situation, and it will be as Jackson Savage comes on to punt. Jackson on the season has 8 punts. That's right, just 8 for Savage. He's averaged 36.5 yards per punt. Gets this one away, a high kick that will be taken by Mullendor at about the 24-yard line. North Platte football at their own 23 with 8:01 to go here in the 2nd quarter. North Platte's last drive ended in a 10-yard touchdown pass from Kirkham to Mullendorf. Get them within a point. Panthers did lead briefly in this football game. Mid-Buck answered, Panthers answered, but a missed extra point attempt, and now Service is close to another North Platte first down as he gets it across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2 for North Platte. Good football game so far. It's kind of lived up to the hype. Definitely the toughest test that these Dragons have faced so far this season. They'll send a man in motion and hand it off to him. That is Corbin Bidding, who gets the near sideline and steps out of bounds before he gets to midfield. He kept going into Dragon territory, but before he got there, he had stepped out of bounds at about the North Platte 46-yard line, but a first down for North Platte. 15-yard gain there by Corbin Bidding. They're throwing a lot of different looks, a lot of different plays at this Dragon defense so far, trying to kind of use their aggressiveness against them. Kirkham will hand this one off to Service, who pushes into Dragon territory, stopped down at the 48-yard line. Gain of 6. Boy, I guess wrong every time in this football game. Actually put him down at the 49. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 for North Platte. They'll send Bidding in motion again, but hand it off to Service, and there goes Liam Service. Gets around a tackle, and he is closing in on the end zone. A 49-yard touchdown run by Liam Service, and the Panthers are back on top with 6:27 to go in the second half. We give a lot of credit to this North Platte offensive line. They're not allowing this Dragon defensive front that normally lives in its opponent's backfield to get through or get off of blocks. Panthers will go for 2 here. Kirkham will throw it up to a wide open receiver. 2-point conversion is good with the pass to Chance Garber. And with 6:27 to go, North Platte leads Mid-Buchanan 21-14. I don't want to say that I didn't think there was a chance that this would be a tight football game, because I thought there was a chance, but I really felt like if it was this close this early that it would be some trick plays and things like that that had given the Panthers a chance. But instead, as Jackson Savage picks this kick up with one hand, gets through a tackle, and will be taken down out of bounds on the runway across the 30-yard line. I thought it would be trick plays or crazy things happening that gave North Platte a chance this early on, but they've just kind of lined up and ran it right down the Dragon defense's throat, that part is very surprising to me. They do have a defensive touchdown as well. But they are owning the line of scrimmage as North Platte takes their second timeout of the half here with 6:22 to go in the first half. Again, this one has been extremely exciting so far. It got started with a Clancy Woodward kickoff return for a touchdown. North Platte's first drive of the game ended with a punt. They were able to pick up one first down, but then eventually punted away to Mid-Buchanan. Then the Dragons got it, and Xavier Rumbla threw a pick six to Dylan Armstrong. Extra point was good. That put North Platte on top 7-6 with 4:56 to go in the first quarter. Dragons answered the 62-yard drive that ended with a 28-yard Xavier Rumbla touchdown run. That put the Dragons back on top 14-7. Then North Platte answered right back, a 10-yard touchdown pass from Kirkham to Caden Mullendor. Extra point attempt was no good. Dragons led with 10:44 to go in the second quarter, 14-13. Mid-Buchanan's next drive began at their own 28-yard line, got to the 46 and ended in a punt. Then North Platte just took the lead again on a 49-yard Liam Service touchdown run. See if Mid-Buck can answer here. So far, they've answered almost every North Platte score. Did not answer the last couple. Something to keep an eye on here is Liam Service is being attended to on the North Platte sideline. Doesn't appear to necessarily be hurt, as Xavier Rumbla is just going to throw this football away. He was under a little bit of pressure and could not see his receiver down the left sideline, as that was Rafe Smith. And a good decision by Rumbla there, knowing that there were no defenders deep, to just throw that one away. Live to see another down here. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Mid-Buchanan from their 31-yard line. And actually, they've not changed the down marker, as there is, my apologies, I did not see the marker on the field, but a pass interference call against North Platte. So that's going to help the Dragons out a lot. A lot. No wonder Rafe Smith wasn't open. Ball spotted now at the 46-yard line off of that North Platte penalty. And this Panther defense has been prone to penalties so far in this game. Two wings, and now Woodward will go in motion, split wide right. Rumbla wants to throw it. Has Waginka wide open. Here goes Ian Waginka. Can he get past Colton Kirkham? And Ian Waginka is in for the score. Mid-Buchanan answers with a 54-yard touchdown pass, the first of the season for Xavier Rumbla and Mid-Buchanan. Dragons back within a point. Man, what a football game so far. Aiden Hallquist will come on to attempt the extra point. His first one bounced off the upright. His second miss of the season, and this one's going to be blocked. All that talking about Aiden Hallquist, I might have jinxed him a little bit. This one is blocked, but the Dragons answer, and with 6:07 to go in the first half, North Platte leads Mid-Buchanan 21-20. Well, the first touchdown pass of the season for Mid-Buchanan comes with 6:07 to go in the first half of the sixth game of the season. Ian Waginka gets the start at wide receiver, and he has gotten open a couple of times, almost had an outstanding leaping catch on the far sideline earlier in the game, but gets wide open behind the North Platte defense there, angles into the end zone, And Mid-Buchanan pulls within a point here as Savage's line drive kick will be fielded at the 15-yard line by Jason Shanks. Shanks has room, but he runs a long ways to only get about a 11 or 12-yard kick return. Looked good for a second. And North Platte will take over still with really good field position here and 6 minutes to go in the half. Spotted at the 27-yard line. That's where North Platte will take over 1st and 10. See if the Dragon defense can stop this North Platte rushing attack. Thought they may have some trouble through the air, but it's been the run game in North Platte that is, and they got it this time as Zach Kelly, Ben Pugh, Jackson Walgren stack up. Dylan Armstrong there, and I mentioned we saw him attending to service on the sideline during that last Mid-Buchanan drive, and I don't see Service on the sideline, but yeah, he is still on the sideline. They're still looking at Liam Service after that 49-yard touchdown run to put the Panthers on top. He has not been back in the football game. Kirkham wants to pass here under pressure, drops it for Mullendor. Mullendor stiff arms a man and will be run out of bounds by Ian Waginka at about the 42, 43-yard line, somewhere in that neighborhood. 1st down, North Platte. It's about a 16-yard gain there. Second time that play has worked for a 1st down for the Panthers against this Dragon defense. 1st and 10 from the 43. They will hand it off to Dylan Armstrong, wrapped up and taken down at the line of scrimmage. Pugh in there again, among others. No gain. It'll be 2nd and 10 for North Platte. Again, give all the credit on the successful North Platte run game so far to this Panther offensive line, but there's no question that the rhythm seems a little bit off since they had to take Liam Service out of the ballgame. Kirkham wants to pass here under pressure, will dump it off to the right side and incomplete. He wanted Mullendor, but making the stop and essentially breaking up the pass is Jacob Robinson. Robinson, the junior, has been phenomenal as a defensive back. Has an interception and leads the team coming into this one with 5 pass breakups. Go ahead and call that number 6 on the season. It'll be 3rd and 10 for North Platte here. Kirkham had to get rid of that football. I don't think that's really the read that he wanted, but he had a blitzer screaming right in at him, so he had to get rid of it quick and threw it high for his receiver over there. And here's pressure again and getting behind the defense, and there comes the flag. Yeah. That's a shame, too. I mean, Porter Pearson earned that pass interference, but I don't think Waylon McCracken, the receiver, was going to have a chance to get to that football. Pearson that's probably one of those where you could say, well, maybe that's a touchdown-saving penalty, but then again, I'm not sure that McCracken was going to be able to get to that football. But either way, the pass interference call gives North Platte a 1st down. That's what's tough about it. That was on 3rd and 10, so it gives North Platte the 1st down and puts them into Dragon territory at the 43-yard line. And now the ball's on the turf, but getting around and into the open field is Corbin Bidding. Man, he turned misfortune into fortune. Bidding fumbled the football deep in the backfield, but picked it up and quickly changed direction and has a North Platte first down all the way down to the Mid-Buchanan 30-yard line. That's how this one's going for the Panthers and the Dragons. A 13-yard run on what easily could have been a tackle for loss, if not a turnover. 3:48 and counting down to go here. 1st and 10, North Platte at the Mid-Buchanan 30. Low snap, handed off, and stopped in the backfield. This will be a tackle for loss. Again, Kirkham kept that one himself, but I don't think that was the intent. I think he really wanted Dylan Armstrong to take the handoff there, but Armstrong didn't get it, so Kirkham had to keep it. And it's a loss of 2, almost 3. Bring up 2nd and a long 12 for North Platte here. Scoreboard says 32. We'll go with that. A loss of 2, 2nd and 12, North Platte. And they're continuing to work on Liam's service on the sideline. Armstrong wrapped up by Zach Kelly, drugged back, but they'll give him forward progress up to the line of scrimmage, which was the 30-yard line, but a 3rd and 10 coming up here for North Platte. Second, 3rd and 10 on this drive for the Panthers. They were able to get a first down on the last one due to a pass interference penalty against the Dragons. Sure, they're going to look to go through the air here. They will, as there are no backs in the backfield. And Aaron Fritz says, yeah, I want to call timeout. Saw something that he didn't like there, maybe a little bit different formation, or maybe Jake Rump didn't feel like he had the right defense for whatever the Panthers were showing him there. The second timeout called by Mid-Buchanan in this first half. And both teams now, with 2:15 to go here in the half, are left with just one timeout, and that says a lot about how this football game has went. It's been tight the whole way. Back and forth. Panthers punted on their first drive of the game. Mid-Buchanan has punted once. Mid-Buchanan's thrown an interception that was returned for a touchdown. Mid-Buchanan has a kickoff return for a touchdown. Both teams have passing touchdowns. Both teams have rushing touchdowns. So we've seen a little bit of it all already here in this first half, and there's still 2 minutes to go with the way this thing's been going. There's more fireworks to ensue, I'm sure. 3rd and 10 here for North Platte from the 30. Kirkham will throw it over to his left, and this is going to be a double pass, and it will fall incomplete as they flung it over to Weston Snook, who fired downfield. It didn't make a very good pass, and they had a receiver falling downfield anyways. And it'll be 4th and 10 for North Platte from the 30-yard line here. More than likely going to go ahead and go for it. They will huddle up. 4th and 10, 2:10 to go in the half. Believe it or not, if it's a turnover on downs right here at the 30, that'd be about the best field position Mid-Buchanan's had to start a drive. Kirkham wants to pass. He's under pressure and will just have to throw it away. And then it will be intercepted. What a great job by Jackson Savage. He picks it off at the 15. Will be horse-collared tackled. There comes the flag flying in. Jackson Savage. Boy, a lot of excitement there for Jackson Savage to just get the ball right back to where the Dragons would have had it been a turnover on downs. But we're going to get a horse-collar tackle, I think, here, which will tack on 15, personal foul against North Platte. That will put the ball at the 45. A heads-up play by Jackson Savage as Kirkham was trying to throw that one away, but he just put it up for grabs. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the half. Clancy Woodward will have it up to the 49-yard line. Six-yard run by Clancy Woodward on first down. 2nd and 4. 1:27 to go here in the half. Woodward split wide. Arumbala wants to pass, looking downfield, has a man wide open. It's Zach Kelly. There goes Kelly down the left sideline. Kelly into the end zone. A 51-yard touchdown pass. Dragons back on top. Xavier Arumbala had to wait 6 games to get his first touchdown pass of the season, and now he has back-to-back touchdown passes. Mid-Buchanan back on top. They lead 26-21. Dragons will go for 2 again after another missed extra point. It was actually blocked. Arumbala on the QB draw has the 2-point conversion. Dragons lead it 28-21. $1:15 to go here in the first half, and what a football game we have. Xavier Arumbala, just on those 2 touchdown passes, again, that were back-to-back passes, has more than doubled his passing yardage total for the season. He came into this game with 100 passing yards. He's got 105 just on those 2 touchdown throws in this one. Coach Fritz told me they might try to throw the football a little bit tonight, and I think what we're seeing is opponents that have gotten used to seeing Mid-Buck not throw the football, and they're not in the right coverages, and the Dragons are getting wide open receivers. Great coverage up front by the Mid-Buchanan offensive line, and Xavier Arumbala's throwing strikes. Dragons back on top 28-21. Savage's kick will be fielded right off the turf and kind of bobbling it around and taken down right away at about the 25-yard line. On the return, it was Jace Gibson. Jacob Robinson on the tackle. North Platte with 1:09 to go here in the second quarter has it at their own 25-yard line. Jackson Savage set up that touchdown pass from Arumbala to Zach Kelly with an interception. Kirkham rolling to his right, wants to throw it downfield, looking for a receiver, none there. And actually, it's caught. Great catch by Caden Mullendor right on the sideline. It'll be a gain of 9. Great catch by Caden Mullendor. Tell you what, he's a heck of a receiver. Kirkham looking Mullendor's way again, and stutter stepping is Jacob Robinson. Mullendor had a step on him, but a great job by Jackson Savage coming over to cut that route off. The pass was overthrown a little bit anyways, but that throw was going to go to Mullendor all the way. Kirkham waiting for him to get open, and Robinson kind of stumbled just a little bit, allowed Mullendor to get a couple steps on him, but Jackson Savage with help over the top. Pass is overthrown, and it is 3rd and about 1 for North Platte here. Again, Liam Service, who was having a heck of a football game, and now the Dragons give North Platte a first down on an offsides. But Service has not come back into this football game since a 49-yard touchdown run. He's walking very gingerly on the North Platte sideline, being attended to by the training staff. First down, North Platte from the 39. Kirkham rolling to his left. Under pressure, he dropped the football, and he will be flung down and taken for a 19-yard loss. Ben Pugh will get credit for it. It's a 20-yard loss, as there was a lot of pressure coming. He's second and 30. A lot of pressure coming. Kirkham was trying to, I think, get a good grip on the football to be able to throw it downfield, and the Panthers are going to let the clock run out here on the first half. Man, what a first half of football we have had as the Mid-Buchanan defense rises up late and helps the offense out to take a 28-21 lead to halftime. I'm going to step aside just for a second, catch my breath, and then because of all the technical difficulties we've had, we will stay right here for just a little bit, and I will kind of recap that first half for you a little bit, give you a drive summary, as we'll step away for just a second here on the Dragon Sports Network. Well, amidst all the craziness, we weren't able to thank any of our sponsors, so I'll take a chance here as we begin halftime to do that. Anderson Kia of Kansas City, Anderson Ford, Atha Brothers Farm, Edward Jones, Ellison Oxshire, Extreme Ground Maintenance, Faucet Fireworks, Faucet Freak Show, Ford Seeds, Harris Heating and Cooling, Jim Barnett Auction, and K. Carver Construction. We will recap and give you a little bit of a drive summary here of this absolutely wild first half that we had. So our football game began with, didn't pay real close attention to exactly where he was, but Clancy Woodward with about an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to open the game. Aiden Hallquist's extra point bounced off the upright. Mid-Buchanan led 6-0 just a couple of seconds into this game. North Platte's first drive began at their 19-yard line. They picked up one first down, were able to get it into Mid-Buchanan territory, but would eventually punt away. Then Mid-Buchanan got the ball at their own 12. A great punt put them in bad field position. And Xavier Rumble, I believe his first pass of the game, maybe his second, was a pick six by Dylan Armstrong. And North Platte was able to kick the extra point through. They led 7-6 with 4:56 to go in the first quarter. Mid-Buchanan took over at their own 38-yard line. And with 3:18 to go in the first quarter, that drive ended with Xavier Rumble's 17th rushing touchdown of the season. This one a 28-yarder. And the two-point conversion attempt was good. Mid-Buck led 14-7 with 3:18 to go in the first quarter. North Platte took over at their own 20-yard line. They marched it right down the field, and that drive ended with a 10-yard touchdown pass from Colton Kirkham to Caden Mullendor. Extra point was no good on that one. Mid-Buchanan still led 14-13. Mid-Buchanan's next drive started at their own 28-yard line. They were able to get it to the 46 before they punted it away. Then North Platte took advantage of that. A drive that began at their 23-yard line. They got it up to the Mid-Buchanan 49-yard line. Then Liam Service took it the rest of the way by himself. 49-yard touchdown run gave North Platte their second lead of the game, 21-14, with 6:27 to go in the second quarter. Mid-Buchanan would answer, though. started to drive at their own 31-yard line, went the 69 yards. It ended with a 54-yard touchdown pass from Xavier Arumbala to Ian Waginka. Arumbala's first touchdown pass of the season, Mid-Buchanan's first touchdown pass of the season. Extra point was no good. Mid-Buchanan trailed by a point, 21-20, with 6:07 to go in the half. North Platte got the ball then at their own 27-yard line. Were able to drive it down to the Mid-Buchanan 30, but on a 3rd and 10, Kirkham threw a ball up, was trying to throw it away, but just kind of ended up throwing it up for grabs. Jackson Savage comes down with it, returns it back to the Mid-Buck 30-yard line, and Mid-Buchanan would make North Platte pay for that interception, as Arumbala's next pass of the football game was a 51-yard touchdown pass to Zach Kelly. 2-point conversion good. Mid-Buck goes up 28-21. North Platte got the ball at their own 25-yard line with 1:09 to go, but a couple of negative plays, and they just let the clock run out on the half. So that is where we are at, a crazy back-and-forth affair as both teams have, both teams have rushing touchdowns. Both teams have passing touchdowns. North Platte has a defensive touchdown. Mid-Buchanan has a special teams touchdown. Our score at halftime, 28-21. We are going to step away for the rest of the half, and we'll be back with the second half in about 15 minutes. You're watching Mid-Buchanan football on the Dragon Sports Network. We're just a couple minutes away from the third quarter and beginning the second half of what's been a fantastic KCI Conference football game so far here in Dearborn between your Mid-Buchanan Dragons and the North Platte Panthers. I want to thank our sponsors, which include Keller Williams, Lisenby Trucking, Matt's Truck and Trailer, Peak to Peak, Shelter Insurance, State Farm Haley Black, Top Notch Roofing, Union State Bank, Ussery Farms, Victory Chevrolet, Wheeler's Drywall, and BMS Right Pack. If you weren't here for the first half, or you weren't here at halftime when we kind of recap these drives, we won't go completely through it here, but just give you a little bit of a scoring recap. Mid-Buck jumped on top first with about an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown on the opening kickoff by Clancy Woodward. Extra point, no good. Mid-Buck led 6-0. Then North Platte went ahead on an interception return for a touchdown by Dylan Armstrong. Extra point, good. Panthers led 7-6 with 4:56 to go in the first quarter. Dragons would answer a 28-yard touchdown run by Xavier Arumbala with 3:18 to go. Two-point conversion was good. Dragons led 14-7. Then North Platte jumped on top again, a 10-yard touchdown pass. They did not jump back on top. They missed the extra point there, so they trailed 14-13. Then a 49-yard touchdown run by Liam Service put North Platte up 21-14. 54-yard touchdown pass from Arumbala to Waginka. Extra point, no good. Dragons trailed by 21-20 with 6:07 to go in the second quarter. An interception by Jackson Savage gave Mid-Buchanan the football back with 2 minutes to go in the half. And Xavier Arumbala's next pass after the 54-yard touchdown pass to Ian Waginka was a 51-yard touchdown pass to Zach Kelly. Two-point conversion good. Dragons lead 28-21, and that was our halftime score. Panthers will start with the football as Mid-Buchanan won the toss and elected to receive. We'll keep our eye out as Savage's kick is away, and it will be fielded at the 15-yard line by Gibson. And he has a seam, but will be tackled by Brayson Weston at about the 34-yard line. That's where North Platte will begin its first drive of the second half. Will we see Liam Service in the North Platte backfield after that 49-yard touchdown run he had to put North Platte up? He did not play after that, and it really seemed to take this North Platte offense out of its rhythm a little bit. Service is back in there. He'll take this handoff, and he's got nowhere to go. He's stuffed and dropped, maybe for a 1-yard loss. But good to see that young man back in there. And they will spot him back to the 33, so a loss of 1 on first down for North Platte. Great job by that Mid-Buchanan defense to answer, because North Platte was running the ball at will throughout the first quarter and much of the second quarter against this Dragon defense that has been so good against the run all year long. They'll hand off on a jet sweep here to Corbin Bidding, who has some speed, but he will be taken down on that far boundary for no gain, give him maybe a yard to the 34-yard line, bringing up 3rd and long for North Platte. James Taylor, would you like to have been a fly on the wall for the halftime speech from Coach Fritz and these Mid-Buchanan assistant coaches talking to this Dragon defense that had only allowed 1 touchdown through their first 3 conference games and gives up 3 in the first half here. Actually, one of them was a defensive score, so I guess just 2 of them on this defense. But they've answered the bell here to begin the second half, and they do again. Great stop right there as in the backfield to take down Caden Mullendore was Wade Stanton, and North Platte will be forced to punt on its first drive of the game as a 3-yard loss there on the handoff to Mullendore. For Stanton, that is his 14th tackle for loss. So he again ties Ben Pugh. Pugh jumped ahead in this game, but Stanton will get tied for the lead there again. Punt is away from Kirkham. Takes a high bounce at about the 35 of Mid-Buchanan. Jackson Savage gets away from it, and Mid-Buck will take over at about the 30-yard line. So a great beginning to this second half by this Mid-Buchanan defense. It was gashed more than it's been all season in that first half. And the offense kind of got rolling late as well. They didn't get off to a tremendous start, but they got rolling late. So we'll see if they can keep that going. Rumbla going to keep this one himself. Good job by the North Platte defense, but then Xavier finds a hole, switches arms with that football, gets to the outside. He's in North Platte territory. Great run there by Xavier Rumbla to begin this drive as he goes for over 20 yards on first down. Going to spot him at the North Platte 48. It's a gain of 22 for Xavier Rumbla on first down. Dragons in North Platte territory right away. Really good vision and patient running by Xavier Rumbla there. Here's a patient run again. He's into the second level of the Panther defense, gets through a tackle, and has another first down. Another strong run by Xavier. And they're actually, they do give him the first down as it's spotted at the 36-yard line, we'll say. A gain of 12 for Xavier there. He'll hand it off to Clancy Woodward here. Clancy gets maybe a yard. I think they're more at the 37. I think Clancy just got it to the 36. Second and 9 here for Mid-Buchanan. James Taylor making a great point. While we were muted for halftime, I think I did mention on air after Woodward took that opening kickoff back for a touchdown how that could be a backbreaker for this North Platte team that was probably really fired up for this one and has had basically no success against Mid-Buchanan recently. But give North Platte a lot of credit for responding well to that as Xavier Rumbla will be stopped short of the first down. A good job to hold on to that football as he's driven backwards. Xavier takes it down to about the 31-yard line, a gain of 5, but it'll be third down. Third and call it 5 for Mid-Buchanan. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Woodward in the backfield with the Rumbla. Rumbla going to keep it himself. Has it up across the 30-yard line. Will be close to a first down, but I don't think he has it. It'll be fourth and really short. I think they gave Xavier forward progress to the 28. Needed 5, got 3. It'll be 4th and 2 for the Dragons. Actually spotted, we're at the 29-yard line, so it might actually be 4th and 3. Yeah, they have 4th and 3 on the scoreboard. It's so tough to tell here. I don't know if they're not stretching the chain all the way out or if whoever's holding the line of scrimmage marker has been a little off. It's been tough to tell, but Xavier Rumbla will keep this one himself, has the first down, then squirts through and is forced out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. Another good patient run by Xavier gives Mid-Buchanan a first down on 4th down. Actually give him all the way down to the 17-yard line. Xavier was able to get it into the red zone. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 17. Xavier going to give it to Jackson Savage, who's stacked up and dropped for a loss by Seth Cruz Also in there, I don't know who else was in there. I can't see my roster from where I'm at right now, but Jackson dropped for about a 1, maybe 2-yard loss. Yeah, just a 1-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 11 from the 18-yard line. So kind of interesting. I wonder if Clancy Woodward might be banged up. As we see Savage in the backfield now again with Arumbala. Again, with Ian Waginka getting the start at wide receiver, that kind of takes away their second-string running back, and Xavier Arumbala keeps it himself, charges ahead for about 9 yards, and will set up a 3rd and very manageable as the Dragons are on it quickly. Ball spotted at the 10-yard line. Gain of 8 for Xavier there. 3rd and a long 2. Xavier going to keep it himself again. Gets through a tackle. Did a flag fly? He has a first down. Does he have a touchdown? He does! Xavier Arumbala on 3rd down. Takes it in himself. His 17th rushing touchdown of the season. Check that, his 18th is a 10-yarder to give Mid-Buchanan their first 2-score lead of this football game. Aiden Hallquist, believe it or not, 0 for 2 on extra point attempts here tonight. But he is 0 for no more. He drills this one through, and with 5:31 to go in the 3rd quarter, Mid-Buchanan leads North Platte 35-21. Well, a great start to this second half by Mid-Buchanan. Their defense forces a North Platte punt, and then their offense takes it 70 yards down the field for a touchdown, or a 70-yard drive, not a 70-yard touchdown, but a 70-yard drive ends with a 10-yard Xavier Arumbala touchdown run, and Mid-Buchanan has a 2-possession lead for the first time in this football game. Neither team has led by more than 7 points so far in this game until now. Jackson Savage gets a good kick inside the 10 where it's fielded on the fly and through one tackle, but not through the second wave of tacklers. Taken down at about the 26-yard line, and Aiden Hallquist is on the field and in a lot of pain. Boy, a tough break there as Aiden was banged up on a kickoff at Lawson a couple weeks ago as well. Was able to get back and play last week at Lathrop. But he's down on the field, and Coach Fritz and the training staff looking after him right now. He looked to be in a good deal of pain there. I hope that Aiden's all right. And he is up. Will walk off the field on his own power. Will now jog off the field on his own power. That's good to see. He is hanging that left arm a little bit, but Aiden does play a little bit of defense, but for the most part is just the kicker for this football team. So I think they could probably get by with a one-armed kicker. Don't you think so, Jimmy, if they have to? North Platte, its second drive of the half will begin at their own 26-yard line. 5:24 to go here in the 3rd quarter. See if this Dragon defense can keep it up. Kirkham hands it off. Met in the backfield. No, Kirkham kept it himself, actually. Good alert play there by Zach Kelly, because if Zach didn't get him, Kirkham was maybe going to take that one to the house. That zone read had most of the Dragon defensive line fooled. They thought that he handed it off, but Kirkham kept it. and he is able to get it up to the 34-yard line, a gain of 8 by Colton Kirkham on first down. Another low snap, handed off. Kirkham, keeps it himself again. A wise decision as here goes Colton Kirkham into Mid-Buchanan territory, and he is cut down on the far sideline. Believe that was Jackson Savage taking him down over there. Jackson makes another touchdown-saving tackle, his second of the game. Great read by Colton Kirkham as he gets it to the Mid-Buchanan 34-yard line. That play started at the North Platte 34, gets to the Mid-Buchanan 34, 1st and 10 North Platte in Dragon territory. Panthers trying to answer here and get back within a score. Told you early in the game, that's a play that this team likes to run a lot, and normally, from what I had seen, Kirkham usually keeps them. He was handing a lot of them off to Service early in the game, but with Service a little banged up now, we're seeing Kirkham start to keep them himself. Flag on the field. It'll be a false start against North Platte. Be 1st and 15 now from the 39. Penalties have hurt North Platte in this one. Jimmy, correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you're not keeping track either, but I can only think of one penalty in this football game against Mid-Buchanan. That seem right? They had the pass interference. Has that been it? Maybe there was one other pre-snap penalty, but that would have been it. Dragons definitely don't have more than 2. Kirkham wants to pass, dumps it off to Mullendor. We've seen this pass work a lot, and Mullendor gets a block and will be taken down by Porter Pearson inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. Dragon defense has not been able to adjust to that play yet. It's worked every time they have run it. That one goes for 21. And a first down North Platte inside the red zone. Really kind of a screen pass. Not your traditional screen, but Kirkham dropping back deep and dumping it off just past the line of scrimmage to a crossing Mullendor. Here's a handoff to Service, and he will charge ahead the 15-yard line down to the 14-yard line. Gain of 4 for Liam Service. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd down, 6, 2:42 and ticking here in the third quarter. Mid-Buchanan's had the ball once. This North Platte's second possession of this quarter. It really doesn't feel like these drives are taking that long, but they are, as we're under 2.5 to go here in the quarter. Mid-Buck will be lucky to get the ball twice in the quarter. Handoff to Service here. He can't find any room and will be tackled at the line of scrimmage, and that will bring up 3rd down and about 5 or 6 to go. Yeah, he didn't get any yardage there. Maybe got a yard. I want to say a big 3rd down here, but chances are the Panthers go for it on 4th down here. Or at least, yeah, they'll probably go for it on 4th down here, down by 2 scores. Kirkham will hand it. Nope, he'll keep it himself, and he will tackle short of the first down. He does get it up to about the 11, so picks up a couple, but he needed 5 to get the first down. So it's going to be 4th and about 3 from the 11. Probably about 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in the quarter by the time they snap this one. North Platte has it at the Mid-Buchanan 11-yard line. 4th and 3, a big one here for the Dragon defense. Kirkham will hand it off to Service. Service has the first down, and Service has a touchdown. 11-yard touchdown run for Liam Service. North Platte's first score since Service took 149 yards for a score back in the second quarter. North Platte back on the board here with 54 seconds to go in the third quarter. Well, big fourth down conversion there for North Platte, not just picking up the first down, but putting 6. As Armstrong will come on for the extra point. And it's good. It's tough to tell. For some reason, there's only one official back there, but Armstrong knocks through the extra point. It is good, and with 54 seconds to go in the third quarter, Mid-Buchanan leads North Platte 35-28. Well, Liam Service gets back in the football game and puts North Platte back on the scoreboard, an 11-yard touchdown run. Gets the Panthers back within a score, 35-28, under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Armstrong on to kick it off. Savage back deep for the Dragons. They'll kind of squib this one. Savage will field it at about the 30-yard line and will just step out of bounds across the 35 up to about the 37-yard line. Just Mid-Buchanan's second possession of the second half begins at their own 37-yard line with 53 seconds to go in the third quarter. North Platte's had the ball twice, Mid-Buchanan once. Both teams have scored once in the third quarter. Rumbla looking for room to the left. That's where all of it has been so far in the third quarter. He's been able to pick up positive yardage one play after another to that off the left side, and he gets it up to the 45 here, a gain of 8 for Xavier. Dragons on it quickly on that far hash. 2nd and 2 for Mid-Buck. There goes Xavier to the left side again, but North Platte sniffed this one out, and they drop him for a loss. See how far back they move him here. One official had him at the 40 and others somewhere between the 41 and the 42. Either way, it's going to be third down here for Mid-Buchanan. I think the officials, that is the end of the third quarter. 3 quarters in the book here in Dearborn. It's been a great one. Mid-Buchanan leads North Platte 35-28. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter of play on the Dragon Sports Network. Thanks to our sponsors that include BSX Express, Buck Stoves, Daydreams, Laura Landis Photography, Good Sense, Kelly Painting Services, and McQueen Farms. We begin the fourth quarter. Mid-Buchanan will have the football at their own 41-yard line, and some of the North Platte players a little bit confused by the switch of sides there at the end of the quarter. But again, you see what I'm saying, Jimmy? It should be 3rd and 5, but if you look at where the line of scrimmage marker's on that far sideline, it looks like more like 3rd and 7. So who knows? Either way, it is third down here for Mid-Buchanan. We'll see what they got. Boy, it probably got away with a false start. Xavier Rumbla in. Waginka was wide open, but he led him just a little bit too much. The same route that ended up in a 54-yard touchdown pass from Arumbala to Weginka back in the first half, and the Dragons will be forced to punt here to begin the fourth quarter. Man, Weginka was wide open. I think that's almost a case where Arumbala had too much time. Brayson Weston late coming on here. So North Platte defense gets their first stop of the second half. Savage gets a good punt away. Mullendorf wants to fall on it. It falls into the end zone. The Dragons are on it. Boy, that was a questionable decision there by Mullendorf, but it was touched. Back at about the 5-yard line. Mullendorf probably just needs to get away from that one and let it go, but he bobbled it around. It bounced into the end zone. Mid-Buchanan fell on it, and it's a Dragon touchdown. That's the right call. Heads up special teams there by Mid-Buchanan. Gets them their second special teams score of the game. Dragons lead 41-28. Aiden Hallquist on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up. Kick is good. 11:44 to go in the football game. Mid-Buchanan leads North Platte 42-28. Sponsors on the Dragon Sports Network include Meyer Design, Meyer Farms, One Step Ahead, Nick's Mobile Welding, Rod Sampson, Van Cleve Construction, Devoy Baker, and Portraits by Long. Heads up special teams play there gives the Dragons their second special teams touchdown of the game, and they again lead by 2 scores. Man, frustrating for Caden Mullendorf there, a senior. He's had one heck of a ball game, but he tried to field that punt, probably just needed to get away from it, couldn't get a good handle on it. It rolls into the end zone. Mid-Buchanan falls on it, and they lead 42-28. Savage's kick is taken on a bounce, and then it bounces off a man over on the far sideline. He falls down, and North Platte will not have very optimal field position here on their first drive of the fourth quarter. Well, the Panthers were getting all the bounces, and give them credit. They were earning all of those fortuitous bounces in the first half, but things starting to go the Dragons' way here in the second half. 11:41 to go in the football game. Panthers got a touchdown rush on their last drive. They'll try to answer a special team score, and it's topped for a tackle by loss. Tackle for loss. Sorry, I got tongue-tied there for a little bit. As Liam's service is stopped for a loss. Back at the 17-yard line. It's a loss of 3 on first down. Be 2nd and 13 for North Platte. And we have a timeout called by the Panthers, their first of the second half. So a very exciting first half has been followed up by a very exciting second half as well. So far, North Platte started with the ball to begin the half at their own 34-yard line. They went -3 yards, had to punt it away. Mid-Buchanan answered a 70-yard scoring drive that ended with an Xavier Arumbola 10-yard touchdown run. Extra point good. Dragons led 35-21. North Platte gets it at their own 26. They would take it the distance as Liam Service would end that drive with an 11-yard touchdown run. Extra point good. Mid-Buck leads 35-28 with 54 seconds to go in the third. Mid-Buck gets the ball back at their own 37-yard line, get to their 41, then they punt it away. The punt was muffed, and the Dragons recovered in the end zone with 11:42 to go in the fourth. Dragons up 42-28. Now North Platte has it 2nd and 13 with 10:57 to go in the football game at the 17-yard line. Credit these Dragon coaches and players so far. Momentum, I think they kind of picked up momentum a little bit right before halftime, but they've had all of it here in the second half as Kirkham's under a ton of pressure, gets it away, almost caught by Mullendorf. Good coverage by Jacob Robinson on this near sideline, but it'll be 3rd and 13 for North Platte. Third and 13 from the 17. Can the Dragons get another stop? Could they even get a turnover here? No doubt a passing down for North Platte. They've been getting a lot of pressure on Kirkham. Can they get a sack here? Kirkham drops back, looking to throw right, airs it out for Mullendorf, and Mullendorf couldn't find it. It's incomplete. It'll be 4th and 13 for North Platte from the 17. Good protection up front for Kirkham that time. Just put a little bit too much air underneath it, and Mullendorf couldn't find it. He had a step on his man, was open, but couldn't find the football to run underneath it, and would have been pretty tough anyway. So Kirkham on to punt. Dragons force a punt here. Jackson Savage back deep to receive. Kirkham gets it away. A low end-over-end kick. Bounces at about the 50. Jackson kind of takes a little bit of a Mid-Buchanan roll. Not exactly a Mid-Buchanan bounce, but a Mid-Buck roll. So Jackson Savage will allow the Panthers to down it. So that's the second. North Platte's had 3 drives in the second half. One of them was a 74-yard scoring drive. The other 2 have went -3 yards and punt. So this Dragon defense has been much, much better here in the second half. They'll begin this drive, a great field position at their own 49-yard line, 10:37 to go in the football game. Arumbola has some trouble with the snap and will be tackled for a loss in the backfield. Loss of 2, it'll be 2nd and 12 for Mid-Buck. Dragons don't want to give the ball back to the Panthers here, but I'm sure would be content chewing up some clock as well with a 2-score lead. Under 10 minutes to go in this one. They are starting to take a little bit more time before they snap the ball. Arumbola will run right this time, gets behind a good black, and will be tackled right about the sticks. I don't think the spot will quite give him a first down. Nope, they will give it to him. Good patient run there by Xavier. Into North Platte territory at the 41-yard line. 12 yards for Xavier on that one, and first down Mid-Buchanan. So they continue to take as much time off the clock as they can pre-snap. Xavier, quarterback draw, gets through a tackle, gets to the second level of the defense, trying to bounce off some defenders, has it across the 35 up to around the 34-ish yard line. Going to have to start saying ish because I've been about a yard off on every guess tonight, Jimmy. Gain of 7 there for Xavier. It'll be 2nd and 3. Under 9 to go now. Dragons have taken a minute and a half off the clock already. Xavier keeps it patiently, picks up the first down, and is out of bounds. Sure, he'd rather not have done that, but he didn't really have any choice. He ran out of real estate over there on the far sideline, but he does pick up the first down inside the 30 to the 29. Gain of 5 for Xavier there. Rumble is starting to rack up the rushing yardage now. As we mentioned at halftime, he has more than doubled his passing yardage on the season in the first half. They're going to stack up a bunch of guys in the line of scrimmage here, and Aaron Fritz wants to call a timeout. He's not happy. Not sure the Dragons were in the right formation there, or maybe not the right personnel out there. Either way, Coach Fritz not very happy. Dragons lead it 42-28, 8:09 to go in this football game. Panthers put a scare in the Dragons. They led 7-6. They led 21-14. And then that was it. They've trailed the rest of the way, but give them a ton of credit. Again, they lost to this Mid-Buchanan team last year 62-6. 62-6 last year. And as my colleague James Taylor pointed out, a great job by North Platte to respond and answer Mid-Buchanan scoring a touchdown on the opening kickoff. They didn't let that get them down. 1st and 10, North Platte from the 29, or excuse me, Mid-Buchanan from the North Platte 29. Xavier Rumbla on a keeper gets through one tackle and is out of bounds close to a first down. Don't think he quite got there. He did. I need to quit looking at the official on this near sideline because he's never right. He's always a yard off, and that's what's messing me up. I'm going to blame it on him. 10-yard run by Xavier Rumble on first down. Dragons have it 1st and 10 at the North Platte 19. Call it the 18. Xavier will hand this one off. And Woodward has it down to around the 17-yard line or not. No gain for Clancy there. And Clancy put Mid-Buchanan up 6-0 before even just a few seconds had come off the clock with a 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He's been fairly quiet since then. Everything on the ground has pretty much been Xavier since about the first drive of the game. And did Coach Fritz have to call another timeout? He did. This second of the half. He didn't look as mad there, so I'm not so sure that one wasn't a let this clock run down as far as we can and then call a timeout. So this drive began at the Mid-Buchanan 49-yard line with 10:37 to go. There's now 7:13 to go. So they've taken 3 minutes off the clock, and that may not sound like a ton, but the way these two teams have been scoring in this football game, chewing up 3 minutes, especially when you have a 2-score lead, is pretty big. Great response, great adjustments in this second half by the Dragons. Took a 1-score lead to the half, up by 2 scores here, and in pretty good shape inside the red zone to potentially take a 3-score lead. 2nd and 10 here from the 18. Rumble alone in the backfield, but he will motion Clancy Woodward into the backfield, hands it off to Clancy. Clancy is stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10. So this Mid-Buchanan team that loves to run up tempo, I think this works against them when they get late in games and they're trying to preserve a lead and trying to chew up clock. It goes against what they do, and here you see they haven't been able to pick up a yard here in a few snaps. Arumbala wants to pass, has a man open but not able to come down with it, and then a flag flies. Who is he trying to hit over there? Waginka, I think. There is a flag down. There were a bunch of North Platte defenders there that kind of did not allow the receiver to get to it, but the penalty goes against the Dragons. It'll remain 3rd down, but they're going to be backed up big time all the way back to the North Platte 33. That's going to make it 3rd and about 20. What you got dialed up here, James Taylor? Well, they are not in a passing formation for sure. They do send Clancy Woodward out wide to the right, and here goes Arumbala looking to pass, but nobody there. Then he fires it downfield for Zach Kelly, but just a little bit long. Xavier was under pressure and didn't have time to get his feet set. Kelly was wide open, got behind that Panther defense, but Xavier throwing on the run, threw it just a little bit long for Zach, and it'll be 4th down here for Mid-Buchanan, and they're kind of in no man's land here a little bit. It'd be way too long of a field goal for Aiden Hallquist. You really don't want to go for it on 4th and long up by 2 scores, so I think Xavier Arumbala will just pooch punt this one away. He does, almost blocked, and it will bounce. The Dragons get down there quickly, and do they down it inside the 1-yard line? They do. Wow. Special teams has been really good for the Dragons here tonight. I mean, other than the 2 missed extra points, one of them blocked. Special teams have been fantastic. So the Dragons not able to score there, but they do chew up over 4 minutes of clock. And they pin North Platte deep inside the 1-yard line. We've got to mark it down as the 1. 6:18 to go here in the football game. Kirkham, I believe, keeping it himself. He did. Able to pick up a few and get it out to the 4. It'll be 2nd and about 7. Maybe it wasn't quite as deep as I thought it was from the angle we're at, because, yeah, it was. 2nd and 7. Kirkham will put it in the belly of service and then keep it himself, and he probably should have handed it off to Liam because he stopped for no gain, if not a loss. Official on this near sideline will give Kirkham, they'll give him a yard up to the 5. It'll be 3rd down here, 3rd and 6 for the Panthers from their own 5. North Platte not in much of a hurry here. Down by 2 scores, 5 minutes to go in this football game, and they're taking their time. I think they're tired. Low snap handled by Kirkham. lobs one up down the left sideline. Everybody throws their hands up. Nobody comes down with it. Pass was intended for Jackson Carpenter. First time we've said his name tonight, but pass falls incomplete, and Mid-Buck forces a 3 and out. Good job by this Dragon defense once again. That drive goes just 4 yards. And just about a minute off the clock maybe. And now Kirkham has to get away from some pressure and shanks the punt. Eesh. Mid-Buchanan's going to have the ball at about the North Platte 21-yard line. That's an unfortunate situation, but Kirkham had pressure, had to step aside and kind of try to rugby punt that thing. I don't think that's exactly his game, and so now Mid-Buchanan will have it at the plus 21-yard line here, already up 42-28. 4:45 left in the game. Hand off to Woodward. Gets through one man, charges ahead. Good strong run there by Clancy Woodward. It's inside the 20, not quite to the 15. Gets it to the 17. Gain of 4. Tick, tick, tick goes that clock. Under 4.5 to go. Sure, the Dragons would take another touchdown here, but be just as content chewing up some clock. Get out of here with the W. Homecoming next week in Fawcett. Arumbala takes the handoff, will keep it himself. Good, gets around some pressure in the backfield, charges ahead, has the first down. Gets down to close to the 10-yard line. I'll put him right at the 10. It'll be first and goal for Mid-Buck on a 7-yard run by Xavier Arumbala. .330 left in this football game. Boy, crazy. I mean, this thing was back and forth, a fantastic first half, and for the most part, it's been all Dragons in the second half. So great adjustments by the coaches and players at halftime. Arumbala will hand it off to Clancy Woodward. Woodward gets through a tackle. Woodward gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Mid-Buchanan. That was Woodward, wasn't it, Jimmy? It was Clancy Woodward. A 10-yard touchdown run by Clancy Woodward with 3:08 to go. Has the Dragons on top 48-28. Hallquist on for the extra point. Kick is up, and this one's no good. Man, Aiden Hallquist has missed 3 extra points in this football game. So special teams play has been a little all over the place for the Dragons in this one. They've had a couple of huge special teams plays, but they've also missed 3 extra points. 3:08 to go in the football game. Mid-Buchanan leads North Platte 48-28. We'll be right back with the final 3 minutes of this one on the Dragon Sports Network. Could be a fitting end to this one if Clancy Woodward could start the scoring for the Dragons and end the scoring for the Dragons. 3:08 to go here. Mid-Buchanan leads North Platte by 20 as Jackson Savage kicks it high. Will be taken at about the 10-yard line and taken down at about the 26, where North Platte will begin their next drive and probably in all likelihood their final drive of the football game. Ball spotted at their 27, 3:01 to go. Correct me. There, I said 3:08. 3:01 to go. Kirkham dropping back to pass, dumps it off to Mullendore. Hey, stick with what works. His passes worked the entire game, and Mullendore gets it out to the 40, where he's tackled by Robinson, Pearson, and Xavier Rumbala. 13-yard pass from Kirkham to Mullendore there on first down. Gives North Platte their first down in a while. .230 to go. Kirkham wants to pass again, under pressure from Stanton, fires it off to his tight end, John Winkler, and Winkler has it up near midfield. And that is another North Platte first down. Right at the 50-yard line, gain of 10. Panthers up on it quick, 2:18 to go. Kirkham wants to pass again, under pressure again, fires it downfield, and a little too high, and a flag comes in late there as Jace Gibson was tackled as he went to catch that pass, but I don't know. Not so sure about that call. I thought it was, not sure that's a catchable ball anyways, and the contact seemed to get there about the same time as the pass, but that's okay. He took him down, is what it is. So that'll give North Platte another first down. Into Mid-Buchanan territory at the 35-yard line. Again, that's something the Dragons have been great about tonight. 2 or 3 penalties on Mid-Buchanan all night. And here's another one, as they'll call the Dragons offsides. I want to say 2 offside penalties and two pass interference, and then they had a personal foul penalty on their last offensive drive. So 5 penalties by my memory for Mid-Buchanan here tonight, but too many of them here late. Going to give the Panthers a good chance to tack on another score here as there's 2:12 to go. Kirkham rolling, will pitch it out to Service, and he is met and dropped in the backfield. Zach Kelly is there. Also Ben Pugh, good sportsmanship by the Dragons, helping Service up. And you see Service kind of limping off there. What a warrior. He had to sit out most of that first half with some type of injury after having a tremendous start to this football game. He's back out there now. Kirkham throws it to Mullendore, a screen again. Pugh hits him, and then he will be dropped at the 35-yard line. That pass play will actually go for a loss of 2 and set up third down. Oh, never mind. Gave him the 34. Either way, it's 3rd and about 9 here with just over a minute to go. Kirkham drops back to pass, fires down the right side, and it's going to be intercepted, and going down right away at the 10-yard line is Jackson Savage, his second interception of the game. Kirkham just kind of threw that one up. I think Mullendore was the intended receiver. He kind of fell down. There were 2 Dragons there, and Savage comes down with it, and that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Dragons will take over with 56 seconds to go here at their own 10-yard line. Rumbla gives to Woodward. Clancy's got some room. Clancy gets into the open field down the sideline. Smart move by Clancy Woodward to cut it back inbounds, not go out of bounds. He's flung down in North Platte territory at about the 35-yard line. Clancy taken down at the North Platte 36. It's a gain of 54 yards, and that's kind of become Clancy's. I think that's going to become Clancy's specialty, I think, is kind of that late game, chew up clock, get those tough yards. I like what we used to see Butch Walters do for Mid-Buchanan back in the day. Not really back in the day, just a couple years ago. Xavier Rumbla takes the knee, and what a job adjusting at halftime, and the Dragons come back. They dominate the second half, and they win in Dearborn, taking care of the North Platte Panthers 48-28. Whoops. For Mid-Buchanan, their 30th consecutive regular season victory. This one didn't come easy, but they got it nonetheless. 30th consecutive regular season win, 25th consecutive KCI conference win, and next week they will go for their 15th consecutive regular season home win on homecoming against Penny. Really, really good job by this Mid-Buchanan football team tonight. Again, they trailed at 1.7-6. Then they trailed 21-14. Then they trailed 21-20. And then they took the lead 28-21 with 1:15 to go in the half on a 51-yard touchdown pass from Xavier Rumbla to Zach Kelly, and they led the rest of the way. Great job by this Mid-Buchanan team tonight, responding to adversity, and give this North Platte team a ton of credit too. Really impressive. Jimmy, you said it, for them to be down early on the kickoff return for a touchdown by Clancy Woodward. It's homecoming for them. It was a big game for them. You knew they were fired up for this one. They were extremely well prepared for this game as well. Give their coaches a ton of credit because they didn't have to do anything fancy to take two different leads on this Mid-Buchanan team in the first half. They just kind of took it to them. Really, really impressed with that because what I had seen so far from this North Platte football team, it took a lot of kind of turnovers and defensive scores and trick plays and things like that for them to stay in football games and to beat some other football teams. But they just lined up and ran it down the Dragons' throat in the first half. So give this North Platte football team a ton of credit. They played a heck of a ball game here tonight. They lose by 20 points, but they gave the Dragons all they wanted and more. North Platte falls to 3-3 on the season. The Dragons move to 6-0. Our 3-game road trip is over. We will be back in Fawcett on the hill in football heaven next week. And believe me, we can't wait because these technical difficulties don't seem to follow us to Fawcett. So I probably just jinxed us there, didn't I, Jimmy? I hope not. Hey, thanks for watching tonight. Thanks for sticking with us through those technical difficulties. Mid-Buchanan moves to 6-0 on the season with a 48-28 win over North Platte. For Jimmy Taylor, I am Nick McCutcheon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week in Fawcett as Mid-Buchanan hosts Penny on homecoming. Have a good night, everybody. Clear.